Hello and welcome to Coach and Coffee. This is a series we're doing with Trio Fitness OCR. Get a cup of coffee each time this show pops up on your news feed and sit down with me. We're going to just go over a few little things each time. Today we're going to go over something specific to OCR as far as training goes. And if you hear anything else, it's my neighbors. I'm on my porch here enjoying this nice weather right before it starts to rain, which it's about to any minute now. So today, I wanted to talk about specific training for whatever course you're taking on. What I see very often from athletes is they have a specific style of training that they like to do, which is awesome. If you like a style, that's great. Keeps you in fitness, keeps you active. But the problem is, we often get inquiries from people who have specific goals in mind. And just to make things easy, I'm wearing a sprint shirt today. So we'll say they have the goal of stepping up to elite in a Spartan sprint. They want to run it really fast, they want to be competitive, they want to place really high. Issue that happens very often with that is these people's training is normally very high intensity. Oftentimes it's CrossFit or CrossFit-esque workouts. So they develop a lot of strength. They develop a lot of anaerobic capacity, which is without oxygen. So it can only be sustained for short periods of time. But what they don't work on is their aerobic base, and that leads to several issues. One being they are not able to sustain a fast enough pace over even a distance like a sprint to actually place very well. And so when they ask us about training, we'll get an email, they'll say something, and we'll tell them kind of what the training will look like to get them to their goal. And a lot of times people just stop there because they don't want to change up their training. So really, if you have a goal, and you actually want to achieve that goal, you need to accept whatever type of training is necessary to achieve that goal. If you don't actually want to, fine. Cool. Don't. That's up to you. We're not going to be upset about it. No one's going to be upset about it. It's your goal. But understand that if you're doing specific workouts and they're not going to help you towards that goal, you're kind of fighting on two fronts and you're not going to get to your goal. Oftentimes, I've been at sprints, especially in the last year, since we haven't had squat for races this year so far, and I've been competing against athletes who run mile times, whose mile PR is a minute faster than mine, and I beat them. And you wonder, well, how do you do that over such a short distance? It's easy. They're good at running a single mile very quickly, but I can run 3.5 miles at a much higher average pace than they can, and I don't burn out as quickly because I've built a long, extensive aerobic base doing miles and miles and miles and miles of training, which isn't necessarily necessary for your goal of being great at a sprint, but you have to do some of it. So you can't just do 1 mile repeats, 400 meter repeats, 800 meter repeats all the time and do your strength training, CrossFit style, whatever style you're doing it, and expect to win a sprint that's more than a mile, more than 800 meters. You have to be fast at that distance. So if you can develop speed for that distance, awesome, you're good to go. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that, and then they're kind of surprised when they don't reach their goal. So don't be surprised if you're not doing the training that matches the goal. And one thing we do at Trio is we have packages set up based on the amount of work we have to do. We have to be able to make money off of it to live and keep the business going and help you guys work towards your goals. So the pricing is set up based on the packages, and the packages are all geared to different goals. So we have our starting package that's 3 days per week. It's for people whose goal is to improve in a sprint. It's the shortest of all the courses. It's got the fewest obstacles, generally speaking the least challenging terrain and everything, so it takes less work to be prepared for it. So we do that. We do everything all the way up to an ultra. So we've had a bunch of people since we launched the ultra program about 2 months ago. We've had a bunch of people sign up for that, which has been awesome. Honestly, didn't expect that many crazy people to join. I say crazy because that's what I do also. But that's been really big for us lately. The only issue is a lot of people start missing days, and on an ultra training program, that gets really hard. So consistency is important there. The point here being, if you want to train for an ultra, you're going to have to put in an insane amount of volume if you want to do well and succeed. If you're going to train for a sprint, you're going to have to do the specific training necessary. 400-meter repeats, while they're great, are not going to get you at the podium at a Spartan sprint. CrossFit workouts, while they're great, are not going to get you there. Just doing long runs will not get you there either. There has to be the mix of the proper training required. So whatever your goal is, you need to set it, determine what training is best for it, and if you don't know, ask someone. You can send us an email, we'll let you know. We always try and get as much information about clients before they sign up if they shoot us an email, so we can be as helpful as possible. And if we don't think we're going to be the best help, we'll let you know that too. But find out what your goal is, determine what training you need for that goal, and then execute. And that's really all it comes down to. And if you can't do that, if you don't do that for whatever reason, it's your own issue. Okay, good. Thanks.